The Washington Post has some news on the continued destruction of our executive agencies under Trump. The administration is prohibiting CDC officials from using these words or phrases in any official documents being prepared for next year's budget. So these are banned words. Vulnerable. Entitlement. Diversity. Transgender. Fetus. And my favorites, evidence-based and science-based. One of the main charges from people on the right, you know, the modern people on the right who think they're cool and who think conservatism is the new counterculture. One of the main things, liberals, they're just trying to, they don't care about the way reality is. They're trying to create their own reality. They're trying to change things to suit their narrative. What the fuck do you think this is? In the official document, don't you dare use words like diversity and transgender. Why? Because they want to... No, those things don't exist. I don't like transgenderism, so it doesn't exist. Don't you dare put it in a document. Evidence-based, science-based. Why the fuck would they say you're not allowed to use that? Yeah, hard to figure that one out. Maybe because the entire administration is anti-science. I mean, Trump during the debates railed against vaccines. Now, that's something that we don't think about much or talk about much because seemingly on his list of faux pas and insanity, it's like that barely registers because he says so many other crazy things. But if any other candidate did that, we'd all be like, whoa, that person's totally unfit. He railed against vaccines. He picked Scott Pruitt to be the head of the EPA. This is a guy who sued the EPA over a dozen times. This is a guy who's on the record as saying CO2 is not a contributor to climate change. Donald Trump had tweeted previously it's a Chinese hoax that's going to affect our manufacturing. So they don't believe in science. They know that if you let the CDC do their own thing, do their job the way they're supposed to do their job, write the documents the way they're supposed to write the documents, you're going to have documents that talk about climate change and, hey, it's science-based that perhaps these industries shouldn't be able to dump these toxic chemicals in the waterways. Well, no, don't allow them to say science-based. Don't allow them to say evidence-based. Nip this thing in the bud. I'm a fucking snowflake that, is triggered by these words. These words are a microaggression to me, and I need my fucking safe space, so you're not allowed to say these things. And entitlement. What, you might be thinking, well, why can't people say entitlement? I don't know. I mean, because these guys are pretty fucking entitled. I mean, we just finished talking about in a different context, you had the estate tax is getting obliterated under these people. So it used to be you have to have $5 million in net worth in order to have the estate tax apply to you. They want to raise that to $11 million. That's what's in the final version of this bill. So those are some entitled little spoiled brats, aren't they? Trump's kids, hey, just pat here. You take the money. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they say you're not allowed to say entitlement. You can say vulnerable. Why can't you say vulnerable? Why can't you say diversity? And you can see why they wouldn't want to say fetus. No, it's not a fetus, it's a baby. It's a fucking say baby. I mean, this is their war on science in a different respect where they'd probably, if they thought about it a little harder, they probably would have added zygote and gamete to the list here. Don't say zygote or gamete because that's a fucking baby. The second you're done having sex, there's a baby. That's a baby right there. That's what that is. It's baby. If there's love juices in the room and it got on the fucking sheets, that baby, that's another baby. It's a millions and zillions of babies. Again, I don't want to hear a fucking word from this crowd about, snowflakes on college campuses and safe spaces and they're banning and censoring stuff that makes them feel bad. When they're offended by something, they just want to ban it. That's exactly what the fuck you're doing. That's 100% what you're doing. And this is an embarrassment. You know, they handcuffed other agencies previously and were like, don't fucking tweet shit about climate science. Don't you dare do that. And now they're doing it in an even broader way with the CDC. And they always, charge the liberals with, you're politicizing this agency or this court or this thing. Stop politicizing. Why are you politicizing? This is the definition of politicizing it. God damn it, man. And again, another thing they say is part of their philosophy is we don't want central control. We don't want centralized control in Washington, dictating stuff about our lives. Just let us do our jobs and live freely. We don't need Washington telling us what to do and what not to do. Well, here you have centralized control, central command in Washington, dictating to the experts in other agencies, hey, we want you to do this, 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 and this. The fuck do you know? Piss off. Let the experts do their goddamn job. Imagine being so insecure in the truth value of your own ideology that you have to force government agencies to bend to your will and not write the words that trigger you.